Hello class, can we hear me now?
Good evening, sir. Yes, I can hear you.
Nice one. Thank you, Akinwumi. Okay, so today is gonna be a wonderful day because we're gonna be learning JavaScript. JavaScript it's very important because it is one of the most popular programming languages, being that you can use it for both the back end and the front end. So in the back end, you can use the JavaScript runtime known as Node.js and Express Server. And in the front end, you can use libraries like React, which I'm going to teach you guys after HTML and CSS and JavaScript. Then you can also use Angular or Vue. So JavaScript is very important. Even Google built TensorFlow for machine learning. So you can use JavaScript across board. And that is why JavaScript is very important. And that is why we're going to be learning it today from scratch. Um, let's see how it goes. Okay, so if you're excited, let me know that you're excited so that I can share my screen so that we can start immediately. So are we excited to do this? Can I get somebody say something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so let me quickly share my screen now, my screen now, so that we can start up and code it from scratch. I want us to understand every aspect of JavaScript, including using it to write algorithms, which is view or text if you want to get a job in a big company, because we're actually training you to be able to have the skill sets to work in big companies, and they're going to test you. And I'll also encourage you to have a GitHub account. Please, I'm going to send you a video where I explain how to create a GitHub account. Code, you have to be committing your code to your GitHub so that when prospective employers, when they check you out, they're going to be able to go to your GitHub and check it out and see whether you've been working. And secondly, you need to have a LinkedIn account. LinkedIn is where you can easily get prospective employers also check you out. So you need to have GitHub and LinkedIn accounts. So please, after this class, make sure you try to have these so that as you're coding, your code is reflected on GitHub, and also prospective employers are also checking you out on LinkedIn. So all these work hand in hand. So we're going to be giving you those basic skills that you need, but you need to get yourself prepared in order to take opportunities when they come. Okay. So with that said, we are going to be looking at JavaScript. I shared a video earlier where I did introduction to JavaScript, where I explained why you should learn JavaScript and the basics. So today we're going to be looking at comments. How do you comment? Comment is simply when you don't want the interpreter to run the code. So use it to ensure code readability. So after comments, we're going to look at variables, and we're going to check out the various way of declaring a variable using the var, let, and const. So use the var if the var used to be what was the keyword used in variable declaration, but recently they use let, very important, use const. We're also going to be looking at data types. So in data types, we're going to be having the string type, the number type, the Boolean, the null, the undefined, and we're going to also check how you can track a data type by using the typeof. Okay. Then we're going to look at strings, and we're going to look at string manipulations. Okay. So please, if you can see my screen, can you confirm that you can see my screen so that I can quickly share my VS Code so that we can start coding from scratch?
I can see your screen.
Okay, thank you. So please, can you see my VS Code?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to explain what comment is. Okay, so comment, if you want to comment, is going to be // and you're not going to write what you want to write. So the interpreter is not going to run this anything that you write on the comment, because the comment enable understanding. Okay, so I'm going to write this is a JavaScript lecturer. Okay, so this is comment. So what this means is that this is not going to be run. But if you don't put double forward slash, if you just say name is equal to Augustine, and that is my name. Name is equal to Augustine, and you're going to make sure that since it's a string, Augustine is going to be inside quotes, and these quotes can be double quote or single quote. Any of them should be okay. So the interpreter is going to interpret line by line, but when it gets to this one, it's going to interpret it because this is not a comment. But if I come in front of this place now and I put double forward, you're going to see that everything changes to green, showing that this is a comment and no longer a code that needs to be interpreted. So I'm going to remove this so that this remains a code. Okay, so double forward slash is what we call single line comment. But if it is multi-line, you can use this type of comment if it's going to be multi-line. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to, so this is what we call multi-line. So what multi-line enables you to write more than one line. Okay, so for this I'm going to say our front end class includes, and I'm going to come down because it's a multi-line, and I'm going to say HTML. I'm going to come down. I'm going to say CSS. I'm going to come down. I'm going to say JavaScript. I'm going to come down, and I'm going to say React. Okay, those are the stacks we're going to be learning. So you can see that everything is in green because they are all comments, but this one is the real code. Okay, so this is what we call a string data type. So we're going to be looking at data types. Okay, data types, very, very important. So what are the data types we'll have? We can have a string. So a string is whenever you have a collection of characters enclosed in single or double quotes. So this is a string data type. So you can also have what we call number data type. In that case, we have age is equal to 27. So this is a number data type because there are no string. This is just a number. Then you're also going to have what we call Boolean. So if you say is married, you want to know whether this person is married or not. You're asking a question. So it's either going to be true or false. So if the person is not married, you're going to have false. If the person is married, you have true. So this is what we call Boolean. Boolean data type. Boolean data type. Okay. Now, you're also going to have another kind of data type known as null. So when you have something like const, say x or y, let's say const z is equal to null. So this is null. But remember that I said that you can actually declare your variables in different forms using, say, var. That used to be the way before. Then let, this is the modern way, ES6. Then you also have const. If you expect that it's not going to change, okay. So let's say name of people in our class could be Ada, it could be Tolu, it could be anything. It can change. So it's better we say let name be equal to Augustine. So if the age can also change over time, then you can also say let age equal to 27. Then if the is married, the person is not married now, but is going to get married at some time. So you can also say let is married equal to false. Okay. So other things you can use as const, let's say you say const pi. You know the value of pi doesn't change. So that should be a const. Okay. So you can now assign it a value, say 3.142. Okay, so these are the various data types. You also have what we call undefined. Okay, so undefined, you can say const y is equal to undefined. Okay, this is also a data type. Okay, so I'm going to write here data type, and I'm going to ask us the various data types that are possible. So these are the keywords that you can use to declare a variable. You can use var, let, and const. So let is block scoped, and that is what you have to use. Const is also block scoped, but it doesn't change over time. Okay. Now we've also looked at data types, and the different data types that we looked at are the number one, as we represented in Augustine, is known as string. Then number two is known as number data type. The other one is known as Boolean data type, and you have the what we call the null data type, as well as the undefined. But there is also symbol, but we're not going to be looking at that now. So I'm going to enclose this in a multi-line comment. So, and I'm going to ask the class some questions to know whether we are actually following. Okay, so these are the data types we are going to be looking at. We also have what we call array data type. So how do you know array data type when you see array? So you can have some favColor. So somebody should tell me his or her favorite colors. favColor, favorite color. What do I mean by that? So it has to be in a square brackets. So let's say for me, my favorite colors are white. I love white a lot. I also love black a lot, and I also love gray a lot. So these are my favorite colors. So whenever you want to have a collection, it's good you put it in an array. So this is what we call array, and you know you always have to declare your variable using let, const, or var. Okay, now in every variable declaration, it is important that you know that you have the keyword say let or var. Then you have what we call the variable name. That's the next thing. Then you have the assignment operator equal to. Then you have the value. Okay. And that is what we have here. You have the let. This name is a variable name. The value for this name is Augustine. For this, the variable name is age, and the value is 27. For this, the variable name is isMarried, and the value is 4. Okay, so these are what we are considering now. So I'm gonna let out a little time to ask questions and also admit people that want to join the class now, so that we can move forward. Okay, so Valerie Uhuru, uh, the concepts we've defined so far, is it clear? Does it make sense to you? Okay, yes it does. I can see Valerie just answered through the text messaging app of the device. What of you, Akim Wumi, does it make sense? Akim Wumi.
Sorry, my network tripped off. I didn't hear what you said just now.
Okay, explaining so far, does it make sense?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
it
David,
does.
what about you? Are you picking up? Okay, David just sent in. Okay, so these are the various data types. Okay, so now we're going to be checking the various data types. We are starting our JavaScript from scratch, and we'll say that first thing we looked at comment, and we'll say that we have single line comment. This is a single line comment started with 2//. Multi-line comments are started with 1// and these are asterisk. So you can use it to take you can use it to represent stuff that you don't want them to show. You don't want the interpreter to run them. Okay, those people joining the class now, you're actually disturbing the class because I have to go accept you. Okay, so we say that we have in our variable declaration, we can use either var, let, or const. Const if it doesn't change, let if it does change. Then it used to be var before, but in EX6 we now use let and const mostly. And we have different data types in JavaScript. You have the string, whenever something like a name that is a collection of characters enclosed in quotes, the string. Number is say age 27. Boolean is when the value is either true or false. Null is when you don't have a value. And undefined is when you have it undefined. And array is when you have a collection of numbers. So array can not just only be strings. You can also have lets, your favorite numbers, favNumbers. You can also have it as an array. So you use an array whenever you want to pick more than one value. More than one value, okay? So we have you're gonna have now 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is an array of numbers, whereas this is an array of string. So how you locate an array is whenever you have these square brackets. Okay, so with this said, now I'm gonna introduce us to how do you check the type of a variable. So you can use what we call typeof. That is how you check it. Typeof. You see, as I'm typing, this is coming out. So when you say typeof, then you put the name of the variable you want to check its type. So let's check the type of age. We want to check the type of age. Now, for you to do this type of, how do you see it? You might not see it. It will check the type, but you're not going to see it. But if you want to be able to see it, you're going to enclose this inside console.log. You have to enclose it inside console.log. So you're going to say console.log. You want the console to log out the type of age. That's what I want it to do. So once you do this, you're going to save by doing Control X. Make sure you save. Then you are now going to come to your console and try to run your code. So how do you run your JavaScript code? You know, in the other one, when we are doing HTML, we right-clicked in the middle and say open with live server. But for JavaScript, how we'll run it is by simply saying node space the name of the file you're working on. main.js is the name, so I'm going to say main.js. So I'm going to press the enter key. So that is how you run your code. When you simply say node space the name of the file is number, because the data type of age is number.